Ultimates in Deleted Gaming. One of these teams moving forward in the bracket. They'll get to play the loser of Gen.G versus Gen.G, but that's tomorrow, folks. Gotta stay alive right now. Deleted versus the Ultimate here on the Rocket League Championship Series.
It is another David versus Goliath matchup. That first killer gets to play the role of Goliath in his way. This time, Deleted Gaming. Game one brought to you by Progressive as Deleted tries to fell the mighty Ultimates.
Yeah, I'm not sure this version of David might do it. First killer is on quite a terror when it comes to the David-Goliath matchups. My look on this team for the Ultimate stacks has always been on Chronic, where I always felt like he had the most questionable shooting of the team. Now, granted, when he's on, he's on. And that's when Ultimates look automatic, but if Chronic starts with some poor shots, it might be a bit of a long one. Deleted Gaming got a lot of talent on this roster, but it will be a tough one for sure.
Bizarre path, as mentioned, for Deleted to get to this spot. They only had to win 5 games yesterday. Yes, 5 individual games. Of course, 2 of those games taking Complexity the distance to Game 5 in their very first match of the day before falling and then beating Pirates on a boat. Now it's Chronic. Oh, tough angle from above the crossbar. He'll drop it in, and it is the Ultimates that strike first.
I'm sorry, Deleted. No chance for you in this game. What a touch from LJ to give Chronic a chance at a shot there. Coming from behind the ball and pumps it up to the ceiling. That was a great pass from LJ. And like you said, tight angle for Chronic. And if he's hitting those, well, there you go. I have my answer now. Deleted gonna have to show something a little different. LJ on this team, not just showing him his stuff, what he can do on the ball and scoring and striking, but just being a wonderful complement to the already terrifying first killer on that attack. So a little bit of a showcase there. The Ultimates also had 2 of our top 3 plays heading into today. This team is full of moxie.
Oh, and the concede goals, things don't go so well for Deleted. Andy's still up at the backboard. He'll retreat as Gyro brings it across. And Wavy kind of stuck flat-footed in the slot there. He will at least get that to the wall and nothing else. Andy will try to take over now. He's got plenty to work with in the tank, but he's got first killer in the way. And back out to midfield it goes. Ultimate's content, just kind of send him back out to midfield and try to launch another counterattack. Just let him keep inviting them in and eventually play over the top as Chronic has tried to go here right at Andy. And Gyro skies it up and away.
They need a better touch there. Gyro had a chance to move that ball downfield with possession. Now they have to contend a couple of times, and Wavy's just buying time to get back. Shows you that that play died at the midfield off of Gyro's touch, even though they were still able to get a few touches there. You can't have those types of ill touches against the Ultimates. You won't find yourself with possession for very long. And you lost it there. Chronic will put another one in. And you get killed on the counterattack. First killer has Gyro frozen, forces Wavy to take the 50. Not an easy angle for him to do it, with first killer bearing down on the ball with momentum, making it easy for Chronic.
It almost looked like he had the read where, okay, it's going to be ball's coming out low. I'm going to run right onto it. Nope, just guessed wrong. And Gyro left it in an impossible spot. Now here we go again. First killer looking to make it 3. And he's not able to stay with the play. Chronic looking for first killer. Comes from the ceiling. Are you serious?
Oh, I think it's WrestleMania in Rocket League today. Off the top rope from the opposite side. Wavy had no clue, bro. Wavy got flashbanged with first killer right on top of him. How about that, Ultimates? Jeez.
Hey,
Oh my
they
God,
lost
okay,
yesterday. They're in the lower bracket. We can beat them, right? No, you can't. It's an adorable effort. First killer has that one go by him. Waiting at midfield. Kick out towards LJ, and he adds another right between the eyes. And there's still 2 minutes to go in this beating.
It's game 1, Ultimates. Oh, Wavy, how did you not see LJ? Surely you knew someone was going to be there. He didn't even jump for the ball. I should have been on Wavy cam there for a second. They scored a 4th goal. I'm like, of course they just scored. Then I took another look at Wavy, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Why are we not going up for that? With full boost, things just falling apart for Deleted during game 1. But the nice thing is, Stacks, is that it is just game 1. So try to right the ship, if you will, these last 2 minutes and play towards game 2.
plenty of experience and maturity on this deleted roster as well. You know, they're not going to let one game just completely sink them, and they will probably be smart enough to understand, barring something miraculous here, this one could just about be chalked up. There is still time if they can get one on the board now, as Gyro has that one taken away. LJ has first killer forward, line up a double, and he scores!
Freestyle at first killer. It's free play at the start of the playoffs. Look at him leave the wall. LJ's just got to serve it up to him, man. At first killer, he's going to eat it all up, dude. I love watching first killer play, man. Especially when he's the clear and away, the best player in the lobby. You don't get to see first killer have that kind of fun in a lot of lobbies these days. Today, though, against Deleted in game 1, he's having some fun.
In their last 2 losses, Ultimates have been outscored by a single member of the opposing team, as Andy's teed one up, and first killer rising to the bar to make the save. It was Atto at the major, as Wavy shot here goes off the post, and the follow-up goes awry. It was Kofer yesterday as Space Station took down Ultimate. And they are absolutely sick of anybody scoring at all, and that's why they have not allowed Deleted to get on the board, even in garbage time. First killer's got that one away from Gyro, and a message is clearly being sent by the Ultimates here to kick off Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done here for Deleted. You can just erase this one from the memory, and you can just accept the fact that you're down 1 game. Try to start with something a little bit different. I think it was tough because the few time stacks that Deleted were able to get something going early in this game, they coughed up a mistouch that Ultimates just punished. They would take the ball away. And it's going to be a lot of work just to wrench the ball away from an LJ or a first killer in any scenario. That's where someone like Wavy has to be that guy, a guy who loves to play with the mechanics, loves to be on ball and carry it through the air. He's got a good aerial game. So there is, there's talent on this roster that can possess this ball, that can create plays with their mechanics as a unit. It is always going to be a difficult bout when you're up against this Ultimate squad. But they got to be consistent. I don't think it's about getting more demos. I don't really think that's the relevant part. Quality over quantity for demos. But really, what I want to see out of Deleted is just that consistency with possession. You got to be careful when you take risks against this Ultimate team. You're going to have to take risks, so managing that is of the utmost importance. You've got to be careful when you're bringing this ball down.
Oh, more often than not, first killer leads his team in scoring when the series is wrapped up, but nobody's home here, and Gyro will score at long last. The first goal for Deleted in the series, as everything just fell apart for the Ultimate.
I'm not sure what LJ was seeing there. He had no boost, coming from a little slightly behind the play than Chronic was. And he just kind of jumps at the ball with Chronic thinking he had a good angle at it. Chronic thinking he had the better angle, but LJ was kind of in a worse spot there. You want to get it back. He could right here with first killer, but Wavy will dive in front.
Gyro leaving that one for Andy. Nobody with any boost at all on the side of Deleted. Gyro had to make a quick turn with that midfield boost. Now everybody's got plenty. They're gonna need some to defend the incoming attack, though. Everybody retreated for the Ultimate. So now Andy. Referee said denied by LJ. And Chronic, realizing that boost didn't spawn for him, he's gonna be left in an awkward spot. LJ trying to nudge him out of the way. And Chronic finally does grab a full tank. And he can use that to run forward with LJ feeding him. First killer in behind. Got around Wavy, and the shot is through!
That's got to be so frustrating for Wavy, as this one just kept going through. They get through off the corner. Gyro gets deleted by LJ. Gyro wasn't even looking at LJ. Gyro's watching the play in the corner the whole time. LJ comes flying in on the right-hand side of his screen. And next thing he knows, he's dead. The ball's in his net. Nice play from LJ, and a good continuation as well from Chronic in the corner to beat that second defender. Ultimates trying to find ways to make the space and create those plays by just keeping that ball away from Deleted. It's working out well.
First killer already up, and Chronic tracking over to the opposite side, but Gyro's gonna pop that away. Chronic to disrupt. He's got LJ following underneath, then LJ should take over here. So Wavy's in his way. First killer trying to pinch that with LJ. Now just going to get that away from the opposition, and LJ does. Gyro brings it right back in, though, and you can see deleted being stretched just a little bit here. First killer almost found the angle. Was sent out by Wavy. Now LJ stuck by Gyro, and deleted are holding on here in a tie game with 3 minutes.
Yeah, you can hang on to your hat that it's not 4-0 right now. Deleted. That's what it was at the start. It still might be 2-1 at the end of this push. Wavy was getting bumped in the net. And they get a breakaway, though. Chronic has to come back, and Gyro is going to be tough to get a shot that was actually going to challenge Chronic there. But this is a good push here from Deleted.
Wavy came up huge for this deleted squad in their first series against Complexity. He had 5 of their 6 goals when they fell short. The rest of the team picked up the slack against Pirates on a Boat. Gyro and Andy each dropping 5 goals in that series to stay alive. And then, of course, they got the free pass. And they're getting a rude awakening here. They're in a battle right now in Game 2 at Forbidden Temple. As LJ maybe looking for first killer, instead called his own number, and Gyro sends that right back once it can.
Not the cleanest there from Ultimate's first killer. Not going to be on target. Get away with it. Yeah, LJ dropped that reset from earlier. Still, you see Deleted having trouble hanging onto this ball. It's a dump. Wait for first killer's touch, trying to wrench it away from him. Then you got to face LJ. Working out for now. Wavy actually wins a crucial touch here in the midfield. It's that touch out. Andy came in, and it's a dead play. Wavy was thinking that sidewall double at first. Got called off by Andy. They keep possession. This is still looking good. Get a very slight touch. It almost looked like a whiff. Everyone got frozen on Deleted. And Deleted are lucky that it's not 2-1 right now.
It almost looked like they missed that on purpose just to try and draw the defense in. Like, ooh, they missed. Do we come up? And then give up the empty net goal behind him. It almost happened exactly like that. As Chronic will take over here. He cut in front of LJ. They neither had any boost. And first killer just sends this one away. Everything stabilizes now for the Ultimates coming up on the final minute. First killer, throw it at the net. Hope something good happens. Could happen for Deleted.
There you go.
Wavy with Andy in support, and that's just dumped off to the corner. No harm.
It's those types of plays from Wavy that help give you the edge in the midfield where you can't win those 50s. Being able to catch the ball in the midair, use your reset, use your mechanics to beat the defense. Something they weren't able to do at all in Game 1. They've been showing signs and flashes of it here in the midfield. Of keeping that ball locked on the net and actually getting the ball on frame has been difficult for Deleted, but you take each step as you get it. As Chronic gets another clear downfield.
Great pass from first killer. Everybody geared up for the shot, and he just feathers it over to LJ.
Oh, such a great touch from first killer. Not too fast, so LJ can take his time to line it up. One defender back. It's a classic give and an LJ go. Beautiful shot as well. Fake kickoff from Deleted. They try to give themselves an edge in the last 30 seconds, but you gotta hit the ball. Gyro will let it go. Gyro, I think, maybe decided to just let that one go, knowing that it wasn't gonna be good contact. Andy coming back now. Wavy keeping it low on the 50. Deleted might have a chance here. Driving the ball forward on the 50. Chronic clears it right back out. Andy holding the line. Chronic waiting for it. LJ coming around. He flips off the ball instead. Wavy couldn't get a clean enough touch. First killer comes down with the ball. Ultimates come down with the Game 2 victory.
Drag them back into the series as we go to venerable DFH Stadium for Game 3 and a chance for Ultimates to go on quadruple match point out of Deleted's timeout.
And they did try that too, right, Stacks? That last game, Wavy, I think, had a bit more control and chances than he did in that first game. They're going to have to keep finding ways to enable him and get him on the ball and creating opportunities. We just haven't seen that same kind of force out of Andy or Gyro. As this touch comes down, this might be a chance across. That's a tough ball for Gyro to handle. Just put it to safety. That's the difficulty. You see Andy playing way far back because Wavy was cutting across, and you just don't have a way to attack. You hope Andy wins that 50. Where are you going with this ball in the corner?
Well, mechanics make a huge difference, and one of these teams a little bit tougher to defend than the other. You don't need me to tell you which one. As LJ up the ladder here, and first killer on his way back. Got the demo on Wavy. That kind of threw him off a little bit. Needed some help from Chronic. First killer still into the play and got that one off of Andy forward. And everybody's just going to retreat again for Ultimates. You don't see this team overcommit much, the Ultimates. They will let you bring the ball into the zone. They're very confident in their own defense and turning that into offense of their own. Gyro, pop out. Nobody else over there. They're keeping the attack alive, but first killer's there after Andy's deleted.
Again, Andy, he's third man in that situation, and he doesn't go because he's unsure about that next touch, and if Ultimates are going to be right there for it, it is a risk for him to play forward and commit on the play. The touch came out so clean. It looks like he should have been there. From his perspective, you kind of understand with how the series has gone, playing it safe. But eventually, you're going to have to take a risk like that, Stacks. You're going to have to just play the faith. And while that hasn't worked for deleted, it's the management of taking those risks, right? And so far, the risk management has not been up to snuff for deleted, but they're surviving for now. It's right over LJ's head. Chronic in a tough spot. Probably the best 50 he could have hoped for to buy first kill time.
First killer checking one attacker into his own back wall. That's loaded out of the way back. And as a result, nobody else could make up for it. And Chronic scores.
We get caught together, watching on the midfield boost. Teammates rotating back, you run into each other. It becomes real easy for Chronic to take this one out. And again, you're not seeing far enough ahead into the play. You see first killer moving downfield, but nobody's looking at Chronic. No one sees that go-ahead touch. They're just worried about getting in position and playing defense on wherever first killer is going to go. They don't realize that first killer is drop-off delivery, and now you're in danger and you're bumping each other.
And what may be lost in all of that is in a normal rotation, Andy probably would have been on his way back, and first killer kind of checked him into the back wall and threw everything off. It doesn't always have to be demos. A bump is often good enough as that one goes off to the side. Had first killer been diving across, it would have been yet another goal for the Ultimates. They only have the 1-goal lead past the halfway mark of game 3. Deleted have looked a lot better as a unit from that first game. They have recovered well. Still very much in this game. If they drop this one, it's going to be a hard press to find them getting back into this series. Everybody lets this one go by, and LJ's going to line one up, and Andy read the play well.
Wavy kind of fooled himself because he thought first killer was going straight for the ball, and he didn't have a ton of boost, so he's thinking, all right, I'm going to 50 first killer really quick. First killer just like, cool, I'm going to the wall. Now you look goofy. That's tough. You think you finally get the read, you feel like you just need to jump on every aerial 50 possible to actually break through this Ultimates team, and when you do, first killer, he's playing chill right now. Almost impossible to break through, but some flashes still, Stacks. It's just 1-0, feels a lot like 4-0 from the first game.
And it still could get there too. We've seen this team, the Ultimates, score in bunches. LJ outlet to first killer. Wavy's in the way this time. Deleted have cut that off quite a bit. Gyro running ahead, trying to clear the way for Andy, and LJ right at his own goal line in the air makes the save into the final minute. Ultimates will look to double their lead, courtesy of first killer. That goes off the post. LJ under the bar, and it's 2-0.
Great save from LJ to start for sure, but first killer gets this carry. Make sure that the ball gets into a playable spot. You see him make his car too big to beat to the right side into safety. He doesn't care where the ball goes. He doesn't even care if it goes in or not. He just cares that it bounces back to the top of the box, giving LJ a chance to shoot it. Great 50 from first killer, and a great series from Ultimates. And showing you that Stacks, this LJ Chronic first killer team is so good. Truly a team that I think will continue to compete against this NRG squad. I don't think their win against them in Open 3 was any kind of one-time thing. Beating teams like Deleted the way that they're beating them right now, it's exactly what you see from teams like NRG, where they don't take anything from you. They just let you give it. They just let you give it. And first killer, he's giving a whole lot right now. He's had one heck of a series.
Remember last year around this time when we saw, you know, like K-Corp struggle in the spring, and we're like, oh, well, you know, you don't see, you know, elite teams don't have those breakdowns like the old G2 now, NRG. And we're seeing that from the Ultimates now as well. They have joined that level of the pantheon in North America. and dare I say the world, as time hits 0 and Ultimates are 1 win away. Career. And you're seeing that now. You're seeing First Killer passing the ball more and still getting his, and that makes this Ultimates team triple deadly.
Now if you're deleted, you just start chucking things at the wall and see what sticks. Maybe you start turning the cam off, and you really do try to just start deleting people. Maybe tried to delete First Killer earlier and ended up getting demoed somehow. So the demos, the bumps just have not been effective or even existed before deleted. You talked about them averaging 7 demos a game. Yeah, that doesn't include all the bumps or failed demos that they may have gotten. There's been absolutely none of that here against the Ultimates.
There's Kofor and Wavy averaging over 3 a game coming into today. And not nearly as many this time around out of Wavy and deleted as a whole. And I mean, they've been fighting for their lives. They don't even have time to think about demos, really. There's been a few, not enough to make a difference. You'd almost need about 20 a game to make a difference against this team.
You just need one good demo. Like, to me, you could still demo Ultimates 20 times and score no goals. Like, it doesn't really matter. I don't care about the quantity. It's impressive that you could average 7 demos a game, sure, and lesser teams might fall to absolute pressure like that. But the quality of your demos matters so much more when you're playing a team of this caliber. And I mean, they're showing you that it's even hard just to demo them at all, as we've been talking about. This is about the most possession we've seen out of deleted. But look at how they move the ball around. It's not into safe spaces. It's always a hard touch with a lot of space between your teammates. And it's just difficult because one player's trying to go get booped and play the ball at the same time. Nobody's in position and ready, so you're constantly playing from your back foot. And if you've ever boxed in your life, constantly being on your back foot is not fun, and you're gonna get knocked out.
Chronic adding his 4th goal as the beat continues on here for the Ultimates. 4 out of Chronic, 4 from First Killer. He's also got 5 assists, which just does not sound like a First Killer stat line at all. You expect the goals. The little A is next to it. Okay.
What are you talking about? He was like top 5. He was like top 5 all last year in assists and goals. I'm almost positive. I might need the D-Rex stat check on that. I'm pretty sure 2024, 2020. Yeah, First Killer's like, he's not just the potatoes. He's not just the steak snacks. He's the whole plate, bro. He's the whole dinner. You can't sit here being like, oh, it's not really first. You're selling fake news, man.
There goes Wavy with a chance for Chronic right off the respawn. LJ, can he get down for this? He sure can, and he'll bounce it home.
Oh, why is First Killer getting so many assists? Hello, LJ. Off the ceiling, off the backboard, with the reset that LJ gets off the ceiling, and that is a beaut. It's amazing what players do when they have all the space to go, but still, the pace at which LJ made that one happen, whew, pretty.
It's just when you see this team firing like this, you go, how did this team end up in the lower bracket? And that might be a statement of just how good the new Space Station Gaming is. The deleted net. I think the last time it touched an Ultimates player had to be right here. Yeah, it was.
Oh no. That started with a team bump too. Wavy bumped Andy back into position. And then he's like, oh crap, LJ's here. Wavy's like, oh no, I gotta avoid LJ. Wait, I'm getting bumped by our own team again. And the ball's in our net. When it rains, it pours, and all stacks absolutely flooded. And I don't think there's any way to drain it for deleted. Dominant performance through and through. And at this point, I don't know what else to talk about. Yeah.
This has been, again, you're looking for signs of weakness if you're the underdog, right? Like, you've got a team down in the lower bracket. You're like, okay, what can we rely on? Nothing. Ultimates gave deleted absolutely nothing to draw any hope or inspiration from. You had the very early goal in game 2, and that has been the only goal in this series for deleted gaming.
The JV perfect sweep. At least if the scoreline here holds. I mean, it's still something like the journey that First Killer's been on throughout the years. I think I talk about it more than Gibbs at this point, but like he doesn't have to carry the whole game anymore. It's amazing to see the Ultimates really come to form after they added LJ, an absolute threat to be the top dog in North America. And like you said, with how dominant they look in this game, makes you a little more excited to watch this new Space Station team as well. The top of North America shaping up to be a really fun one to watch.
Well, we will see that team very shortly. Minute 8 left here. Another 5 spot dropped by the Ultimates. They scored 5 in game 1, and they've still got a minute to do even more damage here. LJ trying to get the flip reset, and there's no mercy being shown at all by the Ultimates. They're not just kind of going, all right, yeah, let's take the foot off the gas now.
He's got killer in his name,
nope. Let's get as many as we can. Let's put direct to work here throughout the rest of this series. Pop one up for LJ. There's no way he can actually get around on this, is there? No, as Andy sends it away.
Pinch out, just a little slow. The follow-up. That little play right there is kind of encapsulated Deleted's whole series. Not close, pretty far away. The rest of the tournament, Ultimates, no doubt, have their sights set far past NA Open 4. I'm thinking about that embarrassment that K-Corp handed to them. Not just them, but K-Corp embarrassed everybody in Birmingham. No doubt they want another crack at it. And First Killer, Chronic, and LJ, it's just another step on the ladder on the journey to Raleigh. They're looking great so far at the start of the day.
11, 13, 16 to 1. This series for the Ultimates. And a little exclamation point put on at the end. The only question now, will they be afforded a 7th? First Killer in the way, spikes it down, and the Ultimates sweep their way into Championship Sunday.